Game number 2 along the way, EnVy versus Eager. I mean, both of these teams looked very clean. I don't think, as far as I'm concerned, on the side of picks and bans, I don't think EnVy got beat by a particular pick or ban. I think you could look twice at ISIS if you want to change.
I think
draft.
they got beat by a better team. I think,
exactly.
I know that's really super generic and weird to say they got beat by the better team, but you could just see both teams' game plans as that early game played out. It was very clear, and EnVy just were not able to capitalize on their pressure comp. They just simply weren't able to get the picks. Skeeledon's wandering around the jungle. He had one single ultimate in the first 15 minutes, and that was it. And that's not a bad shot at Skeeledon or EnVy. That's a great look at Eager and just how well they responded.
And to that respect, I actually do think is EnVy ban out the Nemesis. I do like how EnVy drafted their composition with respect to EnVy. We talked about Skeeledon's early game and how to necessarily remedy that, but now EnVy sort of has to look towards Eager and what went wrong there. EnVy gonna ban out the Chronos. They certainly don't want Zapman leaning on that one.
I like the Chronos ban, obviously something that Ocean's had a lot of trouble dealing with, and I think more Skeeledon, because Skeeledon didn't go into, there's a lot of hybrid items right now for junglers,
sure.
the shifter shields, the void shields, all that, but they're all physical defensive hybrid items, so you don't have anything to deal with the Chronos, and we saw him really start to get shredded.
That first pick, Ratatoskr. Hello.
How the meta has shifted.
I will trip down memory lane, and this is the perfect example of why your metagames here in the SPL aren't necessarily the same as your metagames anywhere else. Ratatoskr is selected here. Sure, he's very good, but it's specifically against Team Eager. But like you said, it opens up Terra. New kid on the block.
Yeah, Terra provides a lot, right? She's got a lot of healing, obviously, with her obelisk. A lot of CC, as the change to the 2, I think, was the big thing. The startup time, where it's more guaranteed that a skilled player can find the stun instead of, hoping you have that combo where you stun them or slow them and then close the walls on them. I'm really excited. I kind of just want to see how Aror plays this in lane, because we haven't got to see any professionals play it yet. Obviously, behind closed doors, people have been scrimming. We don't have access to that.
And so we'll discuss Terra a lot more. Serqet, I love the selection for Serqet, one of DJ's real prime gods, and honestly, Nuwa in the mid lane for EnVyUs as well. Going to be an excellent selection for Kiki as he winds up playing that in the mid.
And you could see EnVy also grabbing that Nuwa in this position, right, in this first phase of the draft, where last game Eager banned it out. So EnVy probably wanted to run the Nuwa in game 1 as well, I would imagine, and so this time they're not going to let it, be banned away by Eager. Also, I just have no idea how Fafnir wasn't first picked at, or picked up by Eager right after,
They wanted to go with Terra. Which brings something else to the table, right? So Fafnir tends to buff the players right near him with Coerce. Obviously, Terra has the ultimate. Certainly will be a little bit of a different story. What I'm thinking of more realistically though is the passive in lane. How much does that really affect Terra, you think, in practice?
Not too much. I think no one's really going to be putting themselves in a position to be affected by it pretty heavily. So it's okay, right? She has a little bit of bonus damage, kind of that slow option, but it's not too massive, right? Better off just getting a Frostbound on a warrior.
That's kind of what I'm thinking, but Jing will be paired next to her. Rama and Ravana will be the gods selected from EnVy in our last opposition, or last round of selection. So Nuwa mid, Fafnir and Rama making up the long lane, Ravana over there in the solo, and then Ratatoskr on Skeeledon running in the jungle.
So a lot of teams like running these Vulcan picks as of recent, right? It's so crazy how such a small change has forced him this much into the meta right now. But and same with Ratatoskr, where everyone's running the Rat, everyone right now is running Vulcan. They synergize very well together, and that's what we saw last game, where we saw djpernicus go and find that knockup, right? He basically acted as a Bacchus for the best ultimate.
For sure.
This time, though, it's going to be a little bit different. He's on a Serqet. You don't really have that massive, multi-man CC chain. And really what it's going to come down to is probably Divios' ultimate to synergize. You have a potential for a root with Aror, but you got to burn half your Git to do it. So it's a little bit different, but we'll see if Best can get off the clutch ultimates that he did in game 1.
And that's one of the big things about Terra that you bring up, is that in order for Terra to really make the huge impact, she's got to start to burn a lot of different options, which I think when it comes to fighting over the Gold Fury, when it comes to fighting over specific spots on the map, I think this Terra selection will be very interesting. Specifically, like I said, look out for the Gold Fury fights. But as players start to get involved around the map with these surprise fights in the mid lane by mid Harpies, I think Terra will wind up struggling just a little bit. But definitely the character I've got my eye on for this matchup is going to be Terra.
Early game, Aror going with the shell, so wanting a more defensive option here. Not going for any meditation, obviously has healing in his kit. And just overall, I mean, Shell is just, you know, just so good. Shell is so good.
I mean, it's flat damage reduction. It's flat damage reduction, I think, is one of the most valuable stats in Smite overall. So, absolutely. Aror now, gonna make it away with Zapman. What a colorful lane pair. Look at these two. Purple and yellow and pink and just colorful, so colorful. It's the little things, all right? You gotta be amused by the little things.
And Kiki here just gonna be farming up the early game, actually. Both junglers sticking to the right-hand side right now. djpernicus on this Serqet, let's talk about him a little bit because he's a very dynamic player, right? He is a lot like Weekend, and where these players love these assassin characters, love these like just individual playmaking gods that can just set up your team, and you can just win a game off of your play alone.
Yeah, and Serqet certainly has that ability, maybe not at level 2, but certainly has the ability to do so. We'll certainly watch DJ, and specifically not just Serqet, but the gameplay of in and out, trying to be sneaky in and out of the enemy's jungle, etc., is certainly what Serqet is going to be strong at. However, Eager now getting caught out a little bit in the mid lane. PolarBearMike can just walk on by. EnVy now have gotten both the right side and the left side mid Harpies for their troubles.
We've seen this now 2 games in a row. This time, though, it wasn't Aror rotating over. It was actually PolarBearMike making that very early rotation to help guarantee that mid Harpy control. We don't see the full rotation from Eager like we did last game here, but still a nice start for EnVy.
Now, Ocean's in a little bit of trouble there. Don't forget, Aurora's got some good sustain here on the Terra. Able to have the option to go ahead and heal up her teammate if need be. Zapman very comfortable though here. Full HP, almost full mana as well, compared to Oceans, who's full in both regards.
Yeah, I mean, you throw out that obelisk in lane there. I believe it's called Monolith. But when you dash through it with your dash, right, you can find the root, and that's exactly what's happening to Oceans right now, right? He's getting rooted, he's taking a little bit of bonus damage, and Eager just healing up, you know, all the poke they take back in return.
And that seems to be what EnVy's plan has been for this lane so far. Drop down and immediately dash right through, dealing that damage to both the Hunter and the Wave for Team Eager. So going head-to-head against this EnVyUs squad, I don't exactly necessarily think that we'll see some pop-off out of Team Eager just yet, but who can tell?
Ooh, right-hand side. So the question right now is, EnVy, they have the Ratatoskr, right? Once again, they have the pressure in the soul lane with the Ravana, but this time you have to deal with Terra. And when you look at the other support that's probably relevant is Athena, right? You always have to be aware of the Athena rotating over. Rat, though, going hard.
Eager had a great plan here, but EnVy sniffed it out. Zapman immediately already gone, and Aurora in some trouble. The ultimate gonna find 2 shots, and it's all you need. Ocean.
And he gets the 3rd.
Able to get the first blood off of the kill onto Terra. Well, the first selection of Terra in the SPL gives up first blood.
Everyone is a raw main at this point. Like everyone hits all 3 shots. It's ridiculous. I mean, no one's as good as Marvels, right? And I'm sorry, Marvels, for the last time I disrespected you and claimed Subi was Rom. But I mean, everyone is playing at a really high level. Rom's come back into the meta, and it's so important to be able to hit those shots and clean up kills because that's actually why you pick up Rom. A lot of these reasons. If you have people that have a lot of movement ability to escape, right? Looking at djpernicus, Zapman as well has his agility. You want to be able to chase them down and finish them off.
And you gotta keep chasing them to find that. But what happens if you can't? Then you're in a bad spot. So.
Well, yeah, that's why you gotta hit them. That's why everyone's a Rom main now, man. You gotta be a Rom main.
When you land down.
Pray to Marvels. That's the whole point. You gotta pray to Marvels every day. Get a shrine in his honor.
Roar trying to defend his piggies, gets them taken away. Right side, Skeeledon and Kiki going to be able to pick up these Harpies as well. So Envy successful all across the board so far with just the first blood and a little bit of camps. Eager trailing by almost 800 gold.
They're kind of in the same situation last game, right? They've got the early farm, about that 700 like you mentioned here, also off that first blood. But instead of the ISIS for the Gold Fury Secure, they have this Coerce on PolarBearMike and his, God, where they're going to be able to shred through a Gold Fury. If they find another pick like that in the next minute or two, I guarantee you Envy is going to go for that objective.
Yeah, there's a ton of objectives secure, just like you said, Course and Oceans.
I mean, the only main problem with them going for early Gold Furies is they don't have some big burst ultimate on anyone.
They just have to be aware of the best. As long as you're able to control the Vulcan, take him out, or zone him, or otherwise, I think Envy does have a shot at the Gold Fury because of how much damage they're able to bring out. Don't forget, the new burst actually is a ton as well. So keeping that in mind, as long as the best is corralled into a good spot, Envy can certainly take care of things.
And they're actually rotating over to the left-hand side here. Best still knows this is happening. Aror taking that very early spill right now. He's got Travelers online. Not very tanky. We saw him almost escape because he has a lot of options when he does get ganked. His ultimate, Terra's Blessing, is going to give him movement speed, CDR, as well as a light heal early game. It'll scale up as the later the game goes. And then he has that root option, but still doesn't have that instant move ability, right?
Exactly.
Doesn't have that belly flop that can get over walls, doesn't have the Athena dash, right? And a lot of times you're going to have that movement ability burned trying to set up kills, right? Because it interacts with everything else you do.
Just easy to use off the cuff, so kind of keep that in mind and watch the cooldown, and more importantly, see if your opponent is going to watch the cooldown and capitalize off of that situation. A little bit of aggression coming out from Skeeledon in the jungle. Going to jump right on top of Zapman, get the knock-up. Zapman can find a way out if he's quick enough, but there's the ultimate out of Oceans. Kiki able to take Zapman out in the sky. Oceans doesn't even need him.
Again, just all three. And that seems like it's not consequential at all, clearly, because no one's going to be able to set up a kill onto djpernicus. But now djpernicus is poked out, so Envy now have the option to put pressure in the jungle, which is exactly what's happening. If djpernicus is 100% health, right, this red buff invade might not happen, or they could potentially look to invade. And instead, Envy right now just putting all this pressure, find the snipes, put DJ in an awkward spot, invade the red, invade the speed, looking so much cleaner here in game 2.
Yeah, I mean, all three wound up hitting for half of the HP of the jungler. Certainly something you're going to take advantage of.
This is what we needed to see in game 1 from them, right? This time, Skeeledon has set up 2 ganks successfully. With the Nemesis, he had a lot of trouble getting these kills that he needed. It's still the same game plan from Eager, where they're trying not to get out of position, but they just have so much better options with that semi-global ultimate.
Initiative. That's the difference of game 2 versus game number 1. Envy are taking the initiative, and they're looking to start the fight. Eager going to do the same thing. Eager started the Gold Fury here.
They got to back off of this. And they know it's
damage.
Is that a TP? Is that CycloneSpin coming into the back line? Oh, they were able to kill the ward. That was close, though. CycloneSpin still spawning in, though, and PolarBearMike, he's got the Coerce. We talked about it. This is Envy committing.
And this is the full commit. Half HP on the Gold Fury already. Eager being zoned. And DJ, he's able to take out Kiki. There's the best over the top. Not enough. It is! Gold Fury goes down, and Eager snatches it away from Envy.
You gotta be aware of what's happening with the best. Envy, too hard commit. They don't have the guaranteed secure. And instead, Eager pick up a kill, but it looks like Skeeledon re-engaging.
The best is able to punish him for it. Skeeledon goes a little bit too deep, tries to make the play, dies right in front of his friends. And what did we say when we discussed the Gold Fury, Kevin? Envy have a ton of tools, the Coerce, the Kiki Burst as well, but what do they have to take care of?
You want me to answer that?
Yeah, I want
the best.
Yeah, they got to take care of the best.
They got to take care of the best, man.
I mean,
he's the best. He doesn't miss.
He's the Vulcan. You shoot the Vulcan ultimate, it hits for 800,000, and then it takes away the objectives.
So I like what Eager did, actually.
Okay, it hits for close to a lot of. It doesn't hit for 800,000.
That's a really weird number. 880. I've never noticed that it hit for that much.
So I was onto something with 800,000.
You were close. You had the 8. You were off by a lot of zeros.
A lot
800,000
of
zeros,
just
some would say.
Bunch of commas and zeros. The point remaining, Eager take gold.
But what happens there is actually Kiki's not a part of that early Gold Fury, right? Envy had restarted it. That wasn't a call beforehand. That was an instant decision because they saw Eager drop the Gold Fury. It was still a little bit poked out. They're like, okay, let's go for this. PolarBearMike ults, they get the coerce, but Kiki's still in mid lane. He's not in a position to help them with it. And because of this, Eager don't feel like they have this option to really fight into the Gold Fury right now. So they just pick off Kiki, who's isolated by himself. And because of that, it just opens up that window for the best to have a chance to steal, and he comes up big when it matters.
So you're saying there's a chance.
There's a chance.
It's all you need sometimes. Eager gonna take that away, and one more time, tie the game right back up. Very similar to game number 1, although Zapman not piloting the same type of hyper carry that he was last time.
And Envy can't let this get to their head though, right? They can't just stop doing what they were doing before. Already, Skeeledon on the ball right now, stealing away the red buff. That speed buff spawning as well. And Zapman and the rest of Eager kind of gave it up this last time here. This time, they seem to want to defend this.
Yeah, PBM is here. He'll do what he can, toss a little bit of this here and there, but unable to really strip that away. Yeah, the speed buff will go to Mr. djpernicus.
Which is really what you want, right? You don't necessarily need to fight, but if you can come out with the buff, that's such a massive win. It's going to be another couple minutes before it respawns and Envy have a chance at stealing. And Envy still trying to force these fights. Best by himself, trouble.
He's going to launch out the ultimate. Should be fine thanks to his swift dancing shoes. Aror might be in some trouble. It's support versus support, so we'll check in there a while. CycloneSpin, on the other hand, getting hurt in his own buff shot. There's Divios coming out onto EnVyUs, missing the ultimate thanks to the mid lane using the ultimate of her own. And PolarBearMike now going into the dragon form, looking to support the team, and that's enough to keep Envy walking away.
And Eager not overcommitted. They were able to plug out Kiki, force his relics, right? Force his ultimate, but they don't want to risk dying there. Instead, they just realize they can't win this fight anymore. All their ultimates are burned outside of Zapman's.
Oceans, meanwhile, split pushing the entire time, able to take down the tier 1 tower pretty much no problem. 500 gold going the way of EnVyUs.
This is really surprising. I mean, obviously Zapman got first blooded. It did go over to Oceans because of that, but you look at the difference in their individual gold right now, and I believe it like 400. And this is a Jing Wei, who even if she dies in the early game, she has a passive that gets her back to lane. So Ocean's doing a really good job of out-farming Zap right now. Probably has a lot of pressure. Looking at the player damage, Ram is higher than Jing Wei, but they're about the same.
Yeah, it's about the decisions that Zapman has been making. Zap sort of joined the squad a couple of different times, whereas Ocean's decided to stay in lane, and of course, gonna take the tower as well. So certainly working out in Envy's favor.
And both going for the same build, right? They've got the Devo gloves as well as the early boots. I would assume Ocean's going to be looking for the EnVyUs as well, the same path Zap's going to be working on right now. And the Best by himself in the mid again. I mean, we've seen Best now twice get that low in the same position, but Envy doesn't always want to full commit. I mean, I guess with Kiki's ult down, that wasn't the best position, but last time they had that opportunity.
Yeah, in general, the Best it's all about its positioning, right? If the Best winds up taking that same exchange sort of towards the middle of the lane, all of a sudden, Eager or Envy can really follow up on that, but the Best has taken one step out of his tower, if that, being very careful to stay right here on the cusp of the lane and the tower, so that if somebody does aggress, a backfire, and he's relatively safe.
And PolarBearMike just pushing up, making sure to get these best ward control he can right now. Wants to keep up the pressure, obviously. That red buff and speed buff on the side of Eager are going to be respawning. You can see Eager already in a position to defend it. They don't want to give it up for the 3rd time in a row, but they don't have the timer on it.
Not just yet.
They don't know that it's spawning here in a second, and there it is. They're going to recognize now PolarBearMike already in position to stop this.
And the stun out to Aror, keeping him out of harm's way. Player still zoning. Eager, have to be aware. Half HP on the Gold Fury, but still, the Best has the ultimate. Up in the sky goes Skeeledon, trying to stop it, but maybe it's too late. Eager show up just a hair. There's the ultimate off the mark this
Much
time.
cleaner.
Envy able to get the gold.
Much cleaner here, but the problem is that the Best going in very deep, and Ocean still finding the snipes. He just hasn't been missing.
100% accuracy from where I'm sitting right now, just nailing every single shot. DJ able to take out Kiki in the back again for the 2nd time today. Aurora still being chased and surrounded, can't find a way out, dashing through his rocks, and now safe and sound under the tower till CycloneSpin says no with the ultimate over the top. Aurora sit down.
So much cleaner from Envy. I love the mental game as well, right? They show presence on the red buff. Eager are so focused on trying to get it, they don't recognize the Gold Fury's going on. Suddenly, Aurora smells something. He realizes this is a little bit awkward that they're not showing themselves trying to stop this red. Are they on gold? He comes around, spot checks, but by then it's so low, Best can't get in a position to ult fast enough, and this time they have Kiki. He stacks the clay minions and blows them up for the secure.
And just the panic ultimate coming out of the mid lane, trouble. But there's the turnaround, 1 for 1 so far. Eager are able to get a kill.
No,
Oceans
Oceans!
answers back. Oceans dodges the shot. Divios from long range, taking out Oceans.
That was so close. Divios either hits that or he doesn't, and he comes up big. Oceans very close to actually winning that turnaround, doing a great job of kind of dashing away from Divios as he juked around, doesn't let Divios find the last basic, and that's so important in these key situations. But it's Divios, man. He's going to hit that shot when it comes down to it.
Divios with the hot play, too. The
while
running
he
around,
whipped it, dude.
180 whip, just maximum distance. Hot play out of the Amaterasu. Well done. Love to see that type of stuff. 2-0 and 3 for the young solo laner. You can see Divios having a ball of a time today. 2-1-2 on the jungle as well. Eager, they're tied. 5-5 are the kills. Game pretty much going in the direction of EnVyUs. However, with that last Gold Fury, Eager certainly not ready to hang it up. We saw what happened in game number 1, Adonis. Eager certainly always ready to bite back into it. Here comes DJ.
This is not going to result in anything. DJ is just soaking up farm right now because there is an experience difference. It's not that massive, but it's getting close, right? The best is down 2 levels. Skeeledon djpernicus was down a level. I think he's down like half a level this time. Divios is down. Zapman's down. Like, it's all very close, right? They're not far apart, but if one more fight goes in EnVyUs' favor, we're going to see a really massive experience lead that's going to be hard for Eager to fight back into.
Yeah, I mean, 2,000 isn't... I always encourage players and teams to fight into 2,000
DJ.
gold. DJ, he'll be fine with the zigzag. But once this... How many times can this happen is the question. Eager starting to get a little aggressive. You can see the poison ticking on to CycloneSpin. Here comes more players from Eager, though. And a couple from Envy as well. Down comes the Rat. Going to knock a couple of players up. PBM wants to stay aggressive. Best in trouble. Has to use the Sanctuary to get out of jail underneath the tower. There comes damage out of Divios. Double stun into the damage from the mage, and PolarBearMike half HP.
It's just not that much. Oceans has made the rotation, though. Zapman's using his pass to try and get back, and Envy are pushing forward. They're trying to set it up, and Oceans still, he's not missing. Still finds all 3. PolarBearMike kills DJ. The best fell at the beginning. Divios isolated. Oceans comes up with his 5th.
Clean up in aisle solo. Envy just going to town here. Oceans finds 2 kills, a hot assist, and everything else.
I think that was 3. I think that was 3 for Oceans in the end.
3 kills?
That was absolutely incredible. I might be wrong, though. I think he sniped and only assisted. I thought he got the kill at first, but I mean, this kid is going absolutely insane right now, and this is what happens when Oceans gets ahead in his lane. We saw last time it was the complete opposite. Zapman completely controlled him with that Chronos pick. Such a great and intelligent ban for Envy coming into here right now, and they need to continue playing through Oceans. If he's not in a fight, it's a fight they shouldn't be taking.
Top player damage, again, yes, to clarify, 3 kills for Oceans in that last exchange, and of course, getting the other 2 assists, one of which, we'll say 3.5 kills, because the PolarBearMike kill, that was off of the 3rd shot.
I don't know, man.
And PolarBearMike just
give him his credit.
That's a quadrant in my book.
Eager actually trying to pinch there, coming in from both sets of mid camps, and the target's Kiki in the back.
A really good play for Team Eager. The positioning is on fire. Kiki's gone. Best gets credit for it with the meatball. Now trying to still fight into it. Eager grouped up as 5. Do they push out of the mid tower or take the gold that's about to spawn? They'll take the easy one right now, Adonis. Go for the 500 gold from the tier 1 tower.
Go for the safe play here. Best still only level 13, though. He needs to be careful because if Oceans finds him isolated, he's going to start shredding through him. Tier 1's been downed. This is very similar to a Goan with this Terra. You have this Obelisk, which is able to heal up your team repeatedly, and you can siege, but I don't think Eager's in the best position for this.
Knock forward, though, going to put Envy in a worse position. The Best trying to get the use of the meatball online.
Not
Oceans
again!
gets 1. Gonna miss 2. Gonna miss the 3rd shot as well. CycloneSpin on the mark, however, taking out the Best.
I'm more surprised Oceans missed this right now, but Kiki's respawned. His ultimate finds a cleanup kill onto djpernicus. Divios now on full retreat, but the issue is he's on the wrong side of the map. He's running through the order side right now, but with that movement speed, he's going to be fine.
Gold Fury now picked up by EnVyUs. Eager are local. They are here. They are around, but can they do anything to stop this objective?
They're going to try. Zapman's still hanging around here. Gold Fury very low, and once again, Envy, they don't have the best secure for this. It's going to be close, and Eager come out on top of it. No, excuse me, Envy do secure it there. Just barely.
Just barely. Envy going to take that one away. 91.
I looked at the wrong number. I saw blue. I'll tell you what happened. I saw that the blue team got it, and all I thought was Eager is blue. Because they're blue. Look at their logo, man. It's blue.
Yup.
It was close. Almost.
I stayed far away from that one. I'll be honest, I hung out to dry. Sorry, buddy. But Eager certainly now hanging themselves out to dry. You know, I like the positioning of that last fight when they came out the mid lane. When they came up and they sort of made the counter swoop right there in mid, the positioning was great, and Eager made the right choices. But I think what happened was Envy overperformed. That was a perfectly executed team fight. I say perfect. It's the only time Oceans is off the mark with 2 of his shots, but everything else goes perfectly for Envy.
I'd almost say that Eager got a little bit too greedy, right? The tier 1 was fine. You had the guaranteed, but the issue is then they stayed for that tier 2, right? They wanted more.
Yep.
They saw CycloneSpin teleporting in, which means he had just back, he had just got full health, full mana, he had just finished a new item. Kiki was going to be spawning in about 10 to 15 seconds, and he has that global ultimate that you have to be worried about. Even if he's not directly in the fight, he can still make an impact.
Also, Skeeledon, right now, 0-1-9. I'm telling all you keyboard warriors to leave him alone this game, just like DJ did on the last game. What was he, 2-2-12 with the assists? Ocean's now looking for the 1v1 fight against Zapman. Too many crits to handle. Zap's got to go out. One shot will do it. That's done.
I don't even think Zapman had landed yet. He already knew where he was going to end up. Completely reads him here. Now he's going to have the fight against djpernicus, but he's got help from the rest of his squad.
Can't heal up, but the squad is here as well. Backside Kiki joins him with Oceans. Half HP on the Hunter, but still ready to fight.
I'm surprised if he misses with this. I'm actually surprised if Oceans misses. This has been absurd.
Me too.
I've seen him miss 2 snipes out of like 6 ultimates. And that was the one in the mid, right, where he misses DJ. And he had no vision on DJ. He's just guessing. And they were still pretty damn close.
I mean, Oceans at 20 minutes. Now, when you say a Ram is top player damage at 50 minutes, nobody's really clapping hands for you. 20 minutes, Oceans on Ram, top player damage with a Vulcan in the game. Just incredible
He's in the game, but he might be dead here soon. You can see Skeeledon, PolarBearMike diving. It's just the siege for now, though. Just get the tier 2 cleanly. And Envy putting themselves in a really good position. They need to be careful not to overexert themselves. They've got a 12K lead, but Eager, I think, one of the best teams at playing from behind and knowing when to take fights.
Great knockup is going to force the shell out of Envy. Now it's an all-on fight. Eager trying to do what they can against the opposition. 10K in the lead is Envy. TheBest going to miss with the ultimate at least anybody relevant. Jumping forward is PolarBearMike. Eager now on the retreat.
Best.
And Skeeledon going to make sure they can't retreat.
Best
gets in trouble. Best gets stopped. Best still alive, though. Nice backfire and jukes to allow the mid lane to stay alive.
Really scary there. Oh, but the ton from Terra. Ocean's in trouble. He's got to back off, but DJ's been rooted as well. Kiki finds the nice use of his passive there. And if DJ's not rooted, that could be trouble for Oceans because he had his ultimate online. I'm assuming he was looking for the dive.
We're on like a swing set, back and forth and back and forth. The second one of these teams notice an opportunity, they dive back in. Envy now trusting Oceans with the shots.
Is he gonna find Zap?
One's good, 2's off the mark, and won't get a chance for a 3rd. But the basic is enough for the jungler. The basic is enough for Divios as well off of Skeeledon. And Best just barely alive. PBM gets knocked up, but he'll be walking away. Eager only have 2 players to defend, and it's a Vulcan and it's a Terra.
If Best dies there, that's probably game. This one going to be a little bit closer here. Envy likely to play it safe. CycloneSpin, once again, making use of that teleport. He got poked to red, backing up, playing it safe. Skeeledon's ready to end here, right? And he actually is going to look for the Best. Best has no idea he's looping around behind him.
Dashing forward, you're going to force the backfire to the Best. Nowhere to go. Meatball used already. No tools left for Team Eager's mid lane, and CycloneSpin just punching him down slowly. But more the focus from the team onto the Phoenixes. Left side gone, mid side gone. All that remains is a right Phoenix, and Envy will save that for later, heading back to base to spend what's in their pockets.
Not even going for the Fire Giant right now. Actually, no, they are going to start it up. Oceans is around Skeeledon? No, he's doing mid
Oceans wants mid harpies.
No Fire Giant just yet. Obviously, no one else in position right now, but Envy are in a great spot to close out this game. They've got a 14K lead. It's only 23 minutes in, 20,000 experience, and you can see that's very impactful right now. Divios, Zapman, not level 20 yet. CycloneSpin, Oceans, Skeeledon also has a 3-level lead over djpernicus and TheBest. he hasn't really made that big of an impact this game, right? Despite being top damage for his team, I haven't seen him really be able to come up with these, these big damage ultimates to kill people.
He made the huge play to steal the Gold Fury with the ultimate, and since then hasn't really been a relevant factor here. We mentioned like 100%, right? Always take your risk versus rewards. Best in trouble, actually. Slow down with the curse. He's going to purify it out. Backfire again, and here comes the rest of Eager. Not sure how far Zapman wants to go. Fire Giant just taken and gone. So now Envy, things were even about, let's say, 6 minutes ago. Can we take a look at the graphs? Yeah, right before 20 minutes, Envy had a little bit of this lead that we saw in game number 1. And then all of a sudden, everything just went haywire around 20 minutes.
And now right-hand side, the last Phoenix still remaining for Eager here. Eager do have a girdle. We saw it used in the last engagement. That's going to be big, but it's got to be used perfectly, and Zapman just getting absolutely outclassed this game.
Just got to be used when the players are alive. Zapman gets crit twice, and Zapman gets obliterated. Here comes Divios trying to control Oceans. Sanctuary, good enough. Here comes the Ram from the left side. Nobody realizes, just hitting for tons of damage. The best ultimate's going to come down, but still, Envy pushing forward.
Well, he didn't. Oh, no, he does! Finds the third shot onto Divios. I thought he was just focusing on the Titan here. Envy pushing in. DJ trying to stop it. He does come up with the kill onto Oceans finally. 10-2 and 6. Oceans the star for Envy in this match. And Envy continue to find some wins against top teams. First splitting with Denial, now splitting with Eager. I would say Eager, not looking as good as Denial right now, but in that game 1, I mean, they played phenomenal.
Yeah, no, I think this is more the story, but this whole set, even the Eager win, is a story about Envy. Envy becoming better and better as a unit, whether they're able to find their stride or drop it. I think everything is just going back to the drawing board, learning and excelling and fixing what problems may arise.
I can't wait for Oceans to come to land, man. This kid he is so good right now. He is on fire. Right, game 1, we saw, right? If he doesn't get a lead, what happens, right? Envy start to collapse. He's not able to make these impacts, but he was actually still taking fights against Zapman. It was just very hard because as a Hoi, it's hard to find a kill against a Kronos unless you can get some nasty double or triple bounce, because the Kronos is going to be able to rewind in time. You don't have that burst. But in game 2, he got a small lead off of a single gank. All it took was one gank from Skeeledon in the early game. He gets first blood on Zap, and that lane was over.
I don't even know if he needed that kill. Look at the accuracy right here.
Oh, he did get the first.
Every single shot. See, there's the first kill, and then he's able to roll forward and find a little bit of damage.
He gets Divios, and then he cleans up. Yeah, three kills coming out from Oceans. I mean,
look at that, the double kill.
Just an absolute stellar performance as well. Like finding the shots on the low targets, then cleaning up Divios in the back line, and then having that presence of mind to just quickly flip and hit the last target, hit Aror, excuse me.
And like I said, if you ask this guy over here, that kill that PolarBearMike got, that was all off of the damage from Oceans' ult. Sorry, buddy. That's a quadra kill for Oceans in my book that I wrote down. So we'll see how that one works out in the long run. I got to go with you, though. Oceans just out of control. We saw flashes of it on ALG when he was
for sure.
Still very much in his rookie year, right? This is his fall split, but he's solidified himself. I think this is the guy that Envy has to look to do the heavy lifting.
The NA Hunter pool is the scariest of any region, any pool of, like solos, jungle. Like, this is just the scare. Like, Vicium, Zapman, Met Yankee, Oceans. Like, all of these guys are stars. And you can go down the line. All 8 teams, they're scary. Even Ghost, right? The new player for Raindozos. He's had a couple bright flashes too that it's like, man, this is very dangerous. These are very dangerous dual lanes in North America right now.
Just fun stuff to keep an eye out for. 3 more matches as well for the rest of the day, but don't forget, this all comes down to the hi-rez Expo or Smite World Championship. Make sure to join us there. hi-rezexpo.com. You can pick up your own tickets.
I'm coming. I decided. I wasn't sure. Now I want to come.
Was it Oceans?
It was Oceans.
Oceans?
I hope he's there.
Oceans pushing you
at this point.
Maybe
he will qualify. Envy's starting to pick up the pace, man.
I mean, they're certainly starting to look good. hi-rezexpo.com. Get tickets for yourself and your friends, and keep an eye on at hi-rez Stu. Homie's been giving out like 25% discounts really quickly. Yeah.
Awesome.
I'd say look out for our Twitters, but we don't have the power that Stu does. So follow Stu and follow us. And following up, we'll be bringing you Parandozos versus Allegiance. We'll catch you soon.